Emma is not she's like, her head is so empty. And that, like, the whole point of her coming here was to get something that, and the same thing goes for like the whole Minority Report or whatever.
Majority Report.
They're just looking to dunk on timpool. She came here hoping to get some kind of way to dunk on timpool. So now you're right. There are people that know theory and actually believe it's good to have intergenerational relationships. People like Herbert Marcuse and Gail Rubin, I think is her name, and the people that write queer theory books. You're totally right. Emma's not one of them. Emma is a useful idiot. That's why she was like screaming about supporting trans women in women's sports, because even if it hurts some of the competitors.
You're saying Emma Vigeland's advocacy for pedophilia isn't that she herself is a pedophile, but that she stands opposed to like institutions, laws, and
anything on the right, anything that comes out of your mouth, she's going to oppose. She had no idea.
I will say this: the reason why I can agree with that is, for one, I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I think they know exactly what they're talking about. But for her, maybe she did this thing where after the show she claimed she wasn't cool enough to see the skate park. It's the weirdest thing in the world, because I said earlier, maybe when she pulled up and parked, she didn't notice she was in a skate park, because the front of the property is the skate park.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe they pulled up into the far space and just walked right in the green room door, and she didn't notice because she didn't look anywhere. Then I found out from staff she was actually right in the middle of it. She was standing in the middle of the skate park. There's ramps everywhere. There's rails and ledges. You can see everything. There's like a big speaker for music. And then she called and said, I didn't get to see the skate park. And I'm like, that's a really weird thing to lie about.
You will literally trip over the grinding rail that is right at the front of the house if you're not careful. You will fall over that.
She was talking about the other skate park, the downstairs one. So, that's what I think it was anyway.
There's like 5 here.
Dude, the downstairs is a mini ramp, not a skate park. The skate park is the barn, and there's a massive 24-foot long vert wall. It's an 8-foot vert. 8-foot wide vert, and then there's a 20-foot or a 16-foot 4-foot section. You park right in front of it, and you're surrounded by ramps. It's a weird thing to lie about. She could have said, "Well, I did get to see the skate park. I didn't get to see their ramp, though."
I could see how it might not look like a skate park, because there's a bunch of cars parked all around it, because it's a parking lot as well. It doubles as a parking lot. Dude, so she might not have realized she was in one.
You're so kind.
Yeah, well, she literally. So she was offered a tour, sushi, and poker with the boys. When the show wrapped, I said, we're all going to hang out. We have sushi that's here, bubble tea, cheeseburgers. We put on some music. We hang out at the table. We play a micro stakes poker game, basically poker for fun, not for money. And we can show you around. She goes, no, I can't. I've got to run. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks for coming. And what does she do? They wouldn't show me anything.
Well, she called Sam, and they were joking. I mean, she's pretty clear, like, Tim, this is like high school drama. But I think
it was so that way. But wait, hold on. It was so that way she could slime the people here.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a Tim. It wasn't a good natured joke. It wasn't because she wanted to be humorous and be fun. It was a way to slime Tim and her experience here, even though Tim was polite, kind, and
this
nice
is exactly what Sam Cedar did.
Exactly.
When we invited him on the show, I said, I know exactly what he's going to do. It's low tier WWE political garbage. And if I invite him on the show, they do this thing where all of a sudden, abruptly, they'll say something in a non sequitur, and you're confused by what they're saying, because she had it on her computer. My understanding is that she was being told what to say.
Oh, so really?
In the middle of the conversation, well, she had a list of things like written out.
Because of your point that she's like just vacuous.
Yeah,
that's an assumption, man. She's a journalist. She reads like 50 pages a day before she works.
Yeah. Look at what happened with Steven Crowder and Sam Cedar, right? Steven Crowder was going to have a conversation with Ethan Klein, and then Sam barges in and then starts just clucking like a chicken, like just bok nonsense, because it's WWE to them. So I'm like, we can have her on the show. And I said it would be with another person to discuss ideas. So we got Sean Fitzgerald. And what does she do? Before the show, we were like, hey, let's open with crime and talk about Jordan Williams, this guy in New York who's, he was a black guy. People are saying he's not getting the same support as Penny because he's black. And she goes, yeah, of course, absolutely. As soon as the show starts, what does she do? E-drama, WWE garbage.
I think Majority Report primarily is like a comedy show / it's more like the Daily Show. Like let me finish, please. And it's whereas this show's more serious, and I think they both, Sam and Emma, get a kick out of making you upset.